30 powerful quotes about racism to combat bias and injustice. The progress made over the past half-century has been impressive, but the nation still has a long way to go to achieve true racial equality. Here are 25 quotes about racism to help combat bias and injustice. Racism is the marginalization and/or oppression of people of color based on a socially constructed racial hierarchy that privileges one race over another. This term is used in many areas of society that perpetuate discrimination based on race or reinforce racial disparities in education, healthcare, income, and civil rights. Since the 20th century, the concept of biological race has been considered a cultural invention with no scientific basis. The progress made over the past half-century has been impressive, but the nation still has a long way to go to achieve true racial equality. The following quotes about racism offer inspiring perspectives to help you reflect and do your best to make the world a better place for you and future generations. Showing concern for the well-being of others and being a partner in promoting inclusion and equality are great steps you can take to help overcome the consequences of racism. Here are 30 quotes about racism. Quotes to help combat prejudice and injustice. There is no race. It doesn't exist. There is only humankind scientifically and anthropologically. Toni Morrison, not everything we encounter can be changed, but nothing changes until it is confronted. James Baldwin, people who insist on dividing the world into us and them never considered that they might be them to someone else. Rhea Davis, hating people because of their color is wrong. It doesn't matter which color inspires hatred. It is clearly wrong. Muhammad Ali, if you come to help me, you are wasting your time. But if you recognize that your liberation and mine are intertwined, we can walk together. Layla Watson, in a racist society, it is not enough to be non-racist. We must be. Angela Davis, none of us is responsible for the color of our skin. This natural fact gives no clue as to a person's true character or qualities. Marian Anderson, achievements have no color. Leanne Tyne Price, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Desmond Tutu, as long as racial privilege exists, racism will never end. Wayne Gerard Trotman, every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember that within you is the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach new heights and change the world. Harriet Tubman, it is not our differences that divide us, but our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. Audre Lorde, I reject the view that humanity is so tragically bound by the darkness of racism and war that the bright dawn of peace and brotherhood can never be achieved. I believe that unconditional truth and unconditional love will have the final say. Martin Luther King, the dangerous function of racism is to distract. It prevents you from doing your job. It forces you to explain your existence over and over again. Toni Morrison, it is the essence of nonviolence, not to destroy or damage another person's sense of self-worth. Even an opponent. Bernard Haring, tolerance, intercultural dialogue, and respect for diversity are more important than ever in a world where people are becoming more closely interconnected. Kofi Annan, one day our descendants will find it incredible that we paid so much attention to things like the amount of melanin in our skin, the shape of our eyes, or our gender, rather than the unique identities of each of us as complex human beings. Franklin Thomas, prejudice is a burden that confuses the past, threatens the future, and makes the present unreachable. Maya Angelou, he who denies freedom to others deserves it not for himself. Abraham Lincoln, racism is the most dangerous threat that man can make to his fellow man. The ultimate hatred for the slightest reason. Abraham Heschel, travel is fatal to bigotry, intolerance, and narrow-mindedness. Mark Twain, when will our consciences become so tender that we will work to prevent human misery rather than avenge it? Eleanor Roosevelt, we all live to be happy. Our lives are different, yet the same. And Frank, I refuse to accept the view that humanity is so tragically bound by the midnight star of racism and war that the bright dawn of peace and brotherhood can never become a reality. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the last word.